Dear honorary guests, dear friends of the performing arts, dear back-to-back theater. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to Oslo and to the National Theatre of Norway to this celebration of the International Ibsen Award 2022. Since the world is our stage today, this celebration is also broadcasted live. So please, a warm welcome to all of you, wherever you are, watching this at home, friends, family, and collaborators of Back-to-Back Theatre. We have just heard the wonderful pianist and composer Nat Bartsch performing the piece End of the Decade from her release Hope. I like that combination. End of the decade. Hope. Thank you for taking us so poetically into the world of Back-to-Back. Nat has recently collaborated with the company as a composer of the soundtrack for their recent short documentary, Whatever Scares You, now being broadcast in Australia. The company we are celebrating today have already performed one of their incredible shows here at this very stage. So here we are literally standing in the world of Back-to-Backs. This is the scenography, except that golden thing there. The scenography of Ganesh versus the Third Reich. Reich is the... I saw it last night. It's fantastic, and they also perform this tonight, so if you missed it, you should come back and see it. The International Ibsen Award was initiated and founded by the Norwegian government in 2008, and since then, artists like Peter Brook and Ariane Norskin are among the winners. And in just a few years, this award has risen to become one of the most prestigious theater awards in the world. Of course, here at the National Theatre, we like to call it the Nobel Prize of Theatre. The award bears the name of Henrik Ibsen, still one of the most performed playwrights all over the world. And with this award, here at Ibsen's Theatre, we take on the task to honor the greatest theatre artists of today, artists that, like Ibsen, challenge and develop the performing arts. And Back-to-Back is certainly among them. Back-to-Back Theatre is based in Geelong, in the large regional centre in the state of Victoria, in the southeastern Australia. As a company, they acknowledge the unceded lands of First Nations people across Australia, and in particular, the Wadawurrung land on which they are based. It is customary in Australia to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which you gather and draw awareness to the history and the culture of indigenous peoples. And so, the Sami culture is the oldest culture in large areas of Norway, with an outstanding cultural and artistic tradition. So, for an official welcome to Norway, please welcome from the Sami National Theatre Baivas, Radna Karita Eira and Eilors Gaup, together with the artistic director at the National Theatre, Christian Seltun.
We acknowledge that we live and work in a country built on the traditional territories of the Sami people and the Norse people,
which through the years also has become a home for other people from all over the world.
We acknowledge the important work of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in Norway, which is going on right now to investigate the Norwegianization policy and injustice against the Sami people, the Kvens, and the Norwegian Finns.
As the beginning of a process of retelling the history of Norway in a more truthful way, on equal terms, to benefit us all as a society and to find better ways for the future, respecting human rights. We honor our ancestors and their knowledge of how to live a good life connected to and in communication with land and nature on these northern grounds.
And we acknowledge our own duty to protect and care for the nature that we live in and work in and pass it on to the future generations.
This land is sacred. It is a part of us as we are a part of it. We acknowledge indigenous societies all over the world. We acknowledge people with different kinds of disabilities, and we acknowledge all LGBTQIA+ people.
We recognize the discrimination people from these groups have suffered and advocate for the inclusion and advancement of all identities in our companies and in our society.
Today,
we welcome our guests together with warm greetings.
Boris Boahti.
Velkommen.
First then, when I started to lose you, I saw how good you are. First then, when the others started to draw you away from me, from you, from all of us, I really saw what you mean to everyone. Beautiful nature, your beautiful nature. I do honor your beauty and your creator. Te toda information do porre voda ko ale ken repa hite rai de dobel ale alon go la ta lo la lo la lo la na la 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 go le la alon go la ta I hope your goodness and your love never give up on us, dear Mother Earth.
Back-to-Back Theatre is widely recognized as an Australian company of both national and international significance. In well over 30 years, Back-to-Back Theatre has had a deep impact both on their audience and on their society. To get a deeper understanding of how they work, please take a look at this short video from Back to Back. And preceding Back to Back's video, we will hear from Wadarung traditional owner Corina Eccles to tell us about the lands on which Back to Back theater is based.
I am a Wadarung woman. Here I stand on Wadarung country. Back to Back theatre live and work on Wadarung country, the traditional lands of my people, Wadarung people, who for over 60,000 years, Wadarung people gathered here for dance, ceremonies, to tell stories. Wadarung country is over 10,000 square kilometres that our people lived and cared for thousands of generations, and still do today as Wadarung traditional owners. Our language is heard from listening to country. The name of Geelong derives from the Wadarung word Geelang, the name of our tongue, as water flows into the mouth-shaped cliffs of Geelong. Our people were educated with oral history, stories told by the elders to the young, teaching them on country about their country, our mother country, our ochre, our mountains, and our inland country, from our rivers to our saltwater country, our sky and night sky. Our country was our school, and our elders were the teachers. We sat and deeply listened to our elders' stories and the knowledge they shared. We walked and learnt all about that is connected to our country and shaped the landscape, mountains, hills, valleys and rivers. Creation stories continued with creation of our people, animals and birds. Wadarung people were the first of all things in this region. Today, Back to Back theatre perform on our traditional lands, connecting all people of diverse backgrounds and abilities, encouraging them, providing a space for them to dance, sing and share stories. I acknowledge Bunjil Kalingalabil, our creator. From the beginning, he created Wadarung country. Bunjil made the law for people to live by in Wadarung country. Bunjil asks of all people on country to abide by Bunjil's law, to have no greed, to do no harm, to care for our mother country, and in return country will care for all people as it has done for thousands of years, and will continue to care for all who live on Wadarung country today and our future generations. Yatni Bar Gulbada, Back to Back theatre. In Wadarung language I say, thank you for having Back to Back theatre on your traditional lands, and take care of your visitors who have crossed the waters from Wadarung country to your country. Yatni Bar Gulbada, thank you, and take care.
Hi, I'm Scott Price. We're basically on Wadarung country. Welcome to Back to Back theatre, everyone. And today, guys, here, so I'm about to show you through the studio space of Back to Back theatre. This is actually where we are, so where we work, live, play. And here's some of the theatre speakers. How that works today.
Back to Back theatre show. People watch the show. I heard that show at night. Family, one Scott, and Fela.
Mark, I don't care what some people think. You are unfit for this job.
No, I'm just trying to get us to the point where...
I'm just trying to get Mark to stay a part of us. How come you're defending him? Why can't you just let him go?
You know, we're making work that is trying to answer questions which are raised from a previous work. So there's a set of questions around the content or around the form that we don't necessarily know the answers to.
We might have a scenario, like an improvisation, and then we know if it's good or not. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
We've made work for outdoors, like Small Metal Objects, which is made initially for a train station, to works like Lady Eats Apple, which is made for the grand theatre houses of the world, where the audience sit on the stage and the actors are placed within the auditorium, within the frame of a giant inflatable that fills the space of the theatre hall.
Your father says he's concerned about you. Has he talked to you about this?
No, I just so want to touch you.
You know, I think what joins all of these kind of eclectic works is thematics. You know, we're interested in the dynamics of power and the machinations of power. I guess championing individual voices that aren't normally heard to some degree. Each work is made in response to the previous work, but is also a reaction to the previous work.
The shows that we make around mind, around words, around imagination.
Don't bring any attention to yourself. Avoid conversation.
I think audiences around the world connect with Back to Back because it challenges assumptions of what it is to be human, yet it is also incredibly connecting on a very human level.
I want you to tell me what I mean to you.
I know as an audience member myself, when I see theatre, if I'm kind of lulled into a certain state of being and then it somehow takes me on a journey that transforms me or transforms my perception or understanding, not just of theatre but of humanity, that's the experience that I want as an audience member. I think sometimes audiences have an idea of going, all right, well, I'm going to see that company that has actors with intellectual disabilities or neurodiverse, and to some degree we'll challenge that. We'll challenge the idea of what an actor is, or who an actor is, or who can be an actor.
We bring our talents, our individual talents to those shows and work on them to build them into a bigger performance.
Sorry, mate, deal's off.
Is there some kind of issue here?
Is this your mum?
No. Carolyn's a colleague.
I definitely think there are certain members within the ensemble that really embrace the idea of provocation. But I think for me as a director, like as I'm maturing, I feel possibly less inclined to provoke and going, all right, what else do we have in the palette of Back to Back? And so I think the last few shows we've been exploring a relationship with the audience that's different. I would hope that the future of the company is that we continue reassessing what the company is and challenging our own sense of safety.
You're more of a receptionist.
Fuck off, both of you.
This is the main office where we do all our managing, where all the staff does whatever they need to do to keep Back to Back Theatre happy. Thanks guys, I'm Scott Price and you're not.
Six international senior figures of the performing arts form the committee for the International Ibsen Award. This year's committee consists of theatre critic and dramaturg Roman Dolsansky, academic curator and critic Professor Maria Delgado, artistic director at the National Theatre Christian Seltun, theatre director, artistic director and curator Hilka-Liisa Ivanainen, and professor of interweaving performance culture Erika Fischer-Lichte. They travel all over the world and see performances and do wide research before finally deciding on a winner. And to present the statement of the jury, please welcome Chair of the Committee, Artistic Director of the Norwegian National Ballet, Ingrid Lorentzen.
We are people who do shows right back-to-back theatre. And this is indeed what they do. Fearlessly, brilliantly, bravely, imaginatively, collectively. Since 1987, they have been making groundbreaking work that asks questions of their audiences, of society, of each other. Back to back, put people first. The work is first and foremost a matter of being a person, and after that, a matter of action. The agency of doing, of making, of sharing, of taking responsibility. A poetics of action that has had far-reaching consequences on the lives of those who encounter the work. Back-to-back's ethos of putting people first is about ethics, about the process that involves equitable involvement in the devising and crafting. From questions and problems come the subject matter of new work. It is built on the edifice of navigating the contemporary world with an awareness of inherited histories. And it is this that makes their pieces so immediate, so relevant, and so unsettling. Theirs is a theatre that resists closure and catharsis. Rather, they prioritize the complexities of dilemmas that have no easy solutions, a world where there are no quick fixes. They have never been governed by an ethos of what should be done, but rather what might be done, a theatre of possibilities, a theatre grounded in a necessary chaos. Back-to-back creates a theatre that doesn't follow the rules. They take over spaces that have been marginalized, erased, or rendered insignificant. Through this poetics of disruption, they have created some of the most memorable productions of 21st century theatre. Works like Small Metal Object, Food Court, Lady Eats Apple, Ganesh versus the Third Reich, and Shadow, whose prey the hunter becomes. Fusing the factional and fictional, the experienced and speculative, the brutal and gentle, these dramaturgically and philosophically innovative tapestries present a theatre which is always unpredictable, always unexpected, always unique. Crucially, humor and joy emerge when least expected. The work radiates, disrupts, and resists. It is a mode of recognizing the humanity and self-awareness that lies at the core of the company's work. It's a theatre, both pragmatic and metaphysical, that gravitates around what it means to live in the fullest sense of the word at this precise moment in history. Back-to-back have consistently and defiantly challenged social and cultural perceptions and constructs. They have unsettled the politics of normalization by challenging the interdependence of myth and history and the grand narratives that ground Western cultures, as well as those stories that have been repressed, forgotten, or erased. Also, the company has challenged the idea of the single auteur as a driver of artistic creation. Back-to-back's work is a relentlessly collective practice. Democratic dialogue are built into the structures of the company. The work of Back to Back, like the theatre of ancient Greece, reminds its audiences of democracy's fault lines and gaps. As an audience, we are asked to face up to our responsibilities and to our possibilities. Indeed, it is in their respect for the intelligence of its audiences that Back to Back's generosity as a company lies. The theatrical event becomes a space for inclusion and possibility, as well as a space to reimagine and reconfigure. They guide audiences to focus on art and its many potentialities. In giving the International Ibsen Award to Back Theatre, the committee recognizes the global importance of a body of work in motion that has imaginatively foregrounded the politics of representation, articulated a politics of space, recognized the importance of robust, intelligent storytelling, and celebrated the plurality of theatre making. Thank you and congratulations. I now give the word to State Secretary of Ministry of Culture and Equality, Gry Haugsbakken.
In A Doll's House by Ibsen, Nora famously said, "I'm no longer prepared to accept what people say and what's written in books. I must think out for myself and try to find my own answers." The International Ibsen Award is one of the greatest distinctions in the world of theatre. The award honors an individual, an institution, or an organization that has brought new artistic dimensions to the dramatic arts. With other words, the award honors those who do what Nora did. They think things out for themselves. They find their own answers. They bring new ideas and perspectives. It is hard to imagine a winner more worthy than the winners of the International Ibsen Award 2022. Today, we will be honoring a unique, courageous, and innovative theatre. It is an ensemble that clearly reminds us just how powerful theatre and arts can be. They change how we see the world and ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, highly esteemed ensemble and directors of the Back to Back Theatre. As we have heard from the jury, Back to Back Theatre has presented the world with an impressive body of work. The theatre makes great impact on audiences and on society itself, artistically, socially, and ethically. Awarding Back to Back Theatre the International Ibsen Award is a celebration and acknowledgement of theatre as a collective art form. Back to Back Theatre work is relentlessly collective. Multiple creators, ideas, and perspectives of diversity are always present. Democratic dialogue is built into the very structure of this company. It recognizes that diversity and democracy can be messy and a difficult business. It is built, not given. It is negotiated and navigated rather than handed down. Back to Back Theatre, you put people first. This is a slogan that we, the Norwegian government, would gladly adopt any day. One of our main goals for arts and culture is to make it accessible to all. No matter where they live or who they are, no matter what challenges they face in life, we want diversity on the stage, behind the stage, and in the audience. Here, Back to Back Theatre, you are a shining example of us to follow. Today we honor you, Back to Back Theatre, for thinking things out for yourself in the spirit of Henrik Ibsen. We honor you for finding your own answers and for sharing them with us. And with this, I would like to call the representatives of Back to Back Theatre to the stage.
Yeah. And to accept the award, please welcome from Back to Back Theatre, ensemble members Mark Deans, Simon Laherty, Sarah Mainwaring, Scott Price, Brian Tilley, and Artistic Director and co-CEO Bruce Gladwin.
It is a great honor for me as the State Secretary of the Norwegian Ministry of Culture and Equality to represent the Back-to-Back Theatre, the International Ibsen Award for 2022. Congratulations.
A lot of thanks to the back-to-back team. It's great for you to win this award. It's just great. All shows I've done over my time, loved them all, but show was my top favourite. And then Smo is second. If you want to come to shows, come along. If you don't bother coming. And yeah, enjoy our shows.
I'd like to, thank everyone and acknowledge the back-to-back team and the company. For the amazing trophy, and thank them for the amazing trophy and the work which has also been amazing. For myself, I can see the body of works that we have produced, which have been over time, which have been also amazing. And also go into this amazing trophy and us winning this award is a privilege and an honour to be with you, and thank you.
What else, sorry?
Thanks, Liz. Just before I do anything, so I so this year I actually lost like 5 family members in my family. So I just want to dedicate that that award to my 5 family members there who actually left this world. And I think this year's been a pretty dark year, so I just want to dedicate that award to my 5 family members. Anywho, so this award represents a lot of things: hardships, tough times, and the will to live your life. They say that the pandemic and the war does suck, and that life's not fair. Well, I can say that you can live your life, your best life, and deal with the cards that you have been dealt with in life. This personifies me and this award. And the way that my theatre company has treated me, they have treated me with the most respect and have given me hope in the future. Back-to-Back Theatre has a way of saying get stuffed. We are going to do this our own way. We are not going to do a conventional theatre show, but our own stories from our own experiences living with a disability. Having autism myself, I have learned not to be autistic in a sense of the traditional rules of theatre, but have come to terms with living with the idea that I'm not autistic and masking, whatever the hell that means. That it's a scary thing for an autistic person to witness them on stage, as people are so scared and afraid that they might have a meltdown or something on this stage. Today is a very special day and an important day, must I say so myself, as the Holy Grail of Theatre has come to Geelong, Back-to-Back Theatre, and hopefully that mother trophy for the Geelong Cats there will also come to Geelong as well. So we'll have a double celebration once that happens, if it happens. Back-to-Back Theatre represents the best of the best in theatre, and we are very much privileged to be accepting this award from our team at Back-to-Back Theatre Geelong. Now, I have a few thanks to deliver is as follows. I just want to say a big thank you to the Back-to-Back Theatre team for all the hard work in delivering this award. The team back at home for your support. You know who you are. Take a bow, man. I just want to say thank you to Creative Victoria, the Australian Council, the Seagrave Geelong, Henry Isbin, the award named after him, the governance the government of Norway and the Ministry of the Arts, our board, past and present, our artistic directors, also past and present, our executive producers and managers, past and present. Our producers, creative and tech teams on the ground, marketing teams that help promote back-to-back theatre, our guest artists who have helped make our art, our donors, our ensemble members, past and present. You are the core members of this company. Without this ensemble, there will be no back-to-back theatre and no theatre in Geelong to tell our stories. We need to keep telling those stories for future generations of our disability communities across the world. We are leading the way and changing the lives of people with disabilities. You have all deserved these awards here. It's the award to cherish and you little beauty.
Doing. I now who. I get me. I ain't my doing. Oh, crying and my mom. Shower. Michelle. And mom. Me. In my day, be sick other thing. In your hand, be like me. You go, arguing. Right now, and get mine, not him. Agree? Yes or no? All right. And now I walk on the color. I get gross. I get color. And now in my room. Goodbye.
Thanks, Mark. Everyone got a complete rundown of Mark's family then. Sharon, Michelle's sister, mum and dad, and 4 Georgia Grove, Corio, where Mark grew up. First of all, I just want to thank the National Sami Theatre for their welcome to this country. It's an absolute thrill to be standing on this stage of this incredible theatre house, and I said that I would just take a second to enjoy this, so just give me a second. Okay, thanks. And look, as a company, we spend a lot of time in our own rehearsal studio tinkering. So it's to be here today and accepting this award feels reassuring. Working at Back to Back has always felt like we get to make art without a sovereign, without a master ruling us, without a parent looking over our shoulder, without experts telling us what we should or shouldn't do. It's been a company that has always been charged with a capacity for creative opportunity. The theatre we make comes from the theatre we make. And I want to acknowledge the artists who started Back to Back theatre in the mid-1980s, and all the ensemble members, collaborators, staff, executive producers, artistic directors, board members that have worked throughout our history. And staff. Did I say staff? Thanks, Scott. It takes a community of artists to feed a company, and Back to Back would not be as rich without the ongoing contribution of guest actors, choreographers, dramaturgs, devisers, directors, composers and designers. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge those artists that have travelled with us here to Oslo to present our two works. Thank you very much. And thank you for holding us as a company. Theatre at its best is about unpredictable side effects. And the founders of our company would never have anticipated or expected Back to Back would one day receive an award in the shadow of the great Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen. Maybe, Mark, you did. Did you? On behalf of our very small theatre company from Geelong, Australia, thank you to the Norwegian government and the jury of the Ibsen International Award for their acknowledgement. And thank you to the National Theatre of Norway for presenting our work. Thanks a lot. I think we can go straight back now. Go this way, sir.
Both in their speeches here today and in their everyday theatre work, Back to Back demonstrates how theatre is, in multiple ways, a collective art form. And Back to Back has worked with a lot of different artists throughout the years, and we will now have the great pleasure to invite back to the stage one of Back to Back's close collaborators. Nat Bartsch will play her own composition, Hope. And as a finale, she will accompany Sarah Mainwaring and Simon Laherty from the ensemble, who will perform the monologue, This Is Me. This piece was written and originally performed by Sonja Teuben, a dearly departed former ensemble member of Back to Back Theatre. So thank you all for taking part in this wonderful celebration. Congratulations. And all of you watching this wherever you are, and all of you here in real life, I hope all of you in IRL will join us for the rest of the celebration up here and the rest of the evening tonight. And now, to end this show, please welcome back again wonderful Nat Bartsch.
Sorry Thorbjørn, she was part of our creative team, as was Victoria Marshall. Unfortunately, they're not here to join us in the celebrations. What we are going to do now is going to read something that Sonia wrote, and here it is.
I'm a single lesbian looking for a lover. I'm 44. My favourite food is chops. I make art to make money. It's true. So I can have an everyday job. I need people to know that I have a voice and I want to use it. So I do it in the theatre. I make theatre because I want to break free from the demons inside me.
Theatre changes me as a person. It's like sliding down a slide. Theatre is about making something special and memorable. You have to see it over and over again, because every time is different. The actors are so soft and beautiful and funful.
What should theatre be like? Never apart to no interval, like a rainbow on a sunny day, bright and happy and warm and short. And they should feel satisfied. It's like an orgasm. You work up to it. You work up to it. You work up to it. And then, kaboom! You are seeing more than rainbows.
Theatre should not be about precedents. It just raves on about making the world a better place. Theatre might be about everyday things, like not just at work, but like you're going to work and you're on the train and you look up from your phone and there is someone on the train track with a trolley and you are screaming at that person to get off the track. Theatre should be for the people to have a voice and not feel afraid of that.
Theatre needs to come from listening to other people, true stories. Stories from the heart and the mind. Stories that are deep down inside of you. Stories that you never forget for a long time.
My taxi driver this morning, he was a single bloke, lived in a house. Asking questions like, you got a wife? He said,
no.
I said, you got a dog? He said,
no.
I said, you got kids? He said,
no.
I said, what do you do in life? He says,
I read books and I drive taxis.
I said, that must be boring. He says,
it's not. That's life.
He said to me,
have a really nice day. You are a very special woman.
I said, you should really get a cattle dog. You seem lonely.
Theatre is for the rich, the